Coming in hot. Yeah, coming in hot.
Hey, here we are. Hey, Steven, how you doing, man? Ready to go? I put you on screen immediately.
Oh yeah, I'm ready. You ready? I know you're ready.
Ready.
That's a silly question.
I'm ready. Ready to go. Let's go, bro. So, what's happening? What's your week look like? Are you doing any Christmas shopping yet?
Little by little. I use it all online, so it makes it easy.
Yeah. I try to do online, but guess what happens? Amazon goes on strike, or like the mail stops being delivered on time. There's always something. It's like I'm always like, hey, I got you something, but it's coming like New Year's Day, New Year's Eve. But I try to avoid all of the shopping during this time at the mall.
I don't remember the last time I actually went to a mall and bought something.
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
And yet you run your business right outside of a mall. At least you were. Are you still doing it? You could actually just walk across the street. Not even you're in the parking lot. I think you in that same parking lot. You can just walk across the street. So you good? Everybody's good. Hello, Najma. Good to see you. You are faithful.
Oh, yeah.
Love it. Najma is running her business in the UK, and she is swatting flies, whooping the enemy, and taking down strategies of strongholds. If you don't know Najma's been she's been in our world for a while, for maybe I think 2020 maybe is when we connected, and she is a brilliant mind, and she has her own business. She's a psychologist, and she's great. She has a huge podcast. She's growing an audience. So I know that you have wisdom for her, Steven, at some point, and you're going to help her. In UK, London is in the house. Good to see you, Neela. Good to see everyone here. Glad they're here. She's not doing her shopping until next week. Yes, that's what I'm thinking. I'm gonna get busy on that shopping. I was thinking I spent a lot of this time working on new projects, new products for this year, to launch with the year. And I want to encourage you, if you're not launching something in the beginning of the year, then you're missing. I actually, while everyone's doing the Black Fridays, which I should be focusing on Black Friday, I am spending most of that time putting together new projects, something that help people launch well and launch strong in the year. And I do that every year. And so I'm quite excited. I did go through that process. You saw that, right? You don't have this yet. I'm going to make sure I get this to you. Awesome. I'm just releasing it in book form. I released it in the Kindle form, released in book form, launch online, Kingdompreneurs. And that hit 3 bestsellers. Did you know that? Hit 3 bestsellers list?
That's wild.
You hit three
not
bestsellers.
That surprising, but it's incredible.
And so I'm excited. But my goal is to help people launch. And it's really interesting because I started Steven, I started to say, I'm going to be the launch king. And then it was funny. Just to tell you how God works, I'm telling all of the influencers on Saturday morning. I'm like, I'm going to be the launch king, And then I said, I used to be called. Listen to this, Steven. This is amazing. I used to be called the turnaround king. I come into a business and turn that business around. I used to be called that. I come into a business and I would turn whatever circumstance around. I take over business through acquisitions. That's always been my thing. Acquire and turn it around. Mm-hmm. So I told them just a couple weeks ago, I'm going to be now the launch king. I'm launching. And, I've always helped people launch. That's the way I turn businesses around, is through launching something new. Mm-hmm. And I remember that later that day, my wife goes, I was just praying for you this morning, honey. I'm like, what are you praying? She goes, I just heard this morning when I woke up that you are the turnaround king. And I'm like, what?
Are you sure?
I'm like, oh my God.
Maybe you should go back. You should go back and pray.
That's what I said. But then I realized, all right, so I know what's happening. I'm turnaround king, but I always launch. Everything I do is about launching. When I'm actually turning your business around, we're launching something new. When we talked about what to do in your business, we talked about processes and putting in new procedures and launching. We're always in the process of entrepreneur, not entrepreneur only. So we're coming into that place where we're relaunching. So anyway, we're having a little fun here. I love hanging out with Stephen. We can do this all day long, and we can talk all day long because we talk stuff. So, hey, how are you guys doing online? Make sure you're chatting. Make sure you're telling people about this Success Church, because we come here just specifically for you. This is the reason we're here, to talk to you about your business. And I really, Stephen, I want to do this Turnaround King TV show. I want to do this TV show that's literally about you and I going into companies, going into businesses, media systems, processes, and people, and really getting in there and helping people, one person a month, turn their business around. I think it would just be an absolute thing. If people like, they people submit names, I need my business turned around, or I know someone who needs their business turned around, they're in big trouble. And we want to hear that. We want to help, because we don't want to we're not going to go in and we're not there to sift. We're there to empower and to help them turn around. So, you have Stephen, who's the brilliant brand expert, marketing, media expert. And then I'll come in with my expertise, and we will help people. So if you're in a position where you're in a business and you just can't turn around, you can't figure out what to do next, your systems are not working, processes and all people, product, all of this not working, branding, marketing strategies, and then help us help you so we can come in and turn around. Wouldn't that be fun? That'd
be awesome. I love doing that.
Yeah, we'll come in and do that. That'd be a blast.
It's a little harder when I do it to my wife, because she thinks I'm just like nitpicking her. Sorry.
Yeah. That's when we need to come in as a team, because your wife, she listens.
I always say I like poking holes in ideas. Maybe that's the wrong term. I probably should say I'm poking holes.
Because that means it'll be Swiss cheese at the end of the day. You don't want it to be Swiss cheese. You want it to have
I like
substance.
to fill the gaps. We'll say that. I like to fill the gaps.
Fill the gaps is better.
There we go.
Fill the gaps is definitely better. That's a better thing. Well, we're gonna help people. So in 2025, one of the goals is I would love to launch this new TV show called Turnaround Kings. Turnaround King. And we come into your business and we turn that business around, and we help. And think about it. It's going to give you promotion. It's going to promote your business. People are going to see your business get turned around. They're going to see your product. It's going to be absolutely something that's going to be amazing. So that'd be fun. So I'm still the Turnaround King, just for you to know, because I got with God and I realized that yes, just because you have a new book, a new brand, it doesn't mean you're not still turning things around, because that's the whole point of the book, is to really help people turn their business, their lives around, and to use that dirty word that we don't like to use from 2020, which is to pivot. So we don't like that word, and we're going to pivot. Everything's pivoting. And so, we're not going to do that. Any thoughts before I jump into what I want to share today?
No, let's do it.
All right. So listen, Stephen, thank you. Appreciate you so much. And we're going to jump into this. And hey, everybody, listen, don't forget, Merry Christmas or Merry Early Christmas. Get on the band. Tell people about this. Give people a Christmas present to help them go into their next level. If this is valuable to you, I believe it's going to be valuable to someone else. We also have school.com. If we go to school.com, we have content that's being released there constantly. Go to school.com/influencers, and you can make sure that you get a hold of that. Any content that we're delivering there is going to be there. And it's not going to be open for free forever. It's free right now, but it's going to be a paid platform, a paid community in a while. And so when you go into school, go in there and share what you're going to do, who you are, what you're dealing with, how can we help you? Because that's another great place to tell us, man, if you need help, let us help you. It's free. It's absolutely free. And if you get in there now, one of the benefits of jumping into school.com/influencers is when you get in there now, it's free. But when we flip the switch and it's no longer free, you're still grandfathered in as free. So that will be free for you forever. You'll never have to pay for it, even though I flipped the switch 3 times this week going, I'm going to go paid. And I'm like, well, maybe I'll wait. Maybe I'll tell people. We'll give them a little bit. So get ready, get in there. If you're not in there yet, get in there. It's a free community where you're able to talk about your business. You're able to post. You're able to glean and build connections, build relationships. That's going to be extremely important. Skool.com/influencers. Make sure you jump into that. And it's going to be a great time. And I'm looking forward to that. So today I wanted to talk to you about launching. Of course, we're the turnaround launch kings, right? The turnaround launch kings. And what we're doing is we're gonna talk about how to step into your next level. 2025 is here, people. We are now being positioned in a very solid place. Let me tell you 4 things that I've been working on with our influencers. 4 things. Number 1, these are the 4 things that will last and be economic strongholds in the future. They always have been, they always will be. Now, number 1, there will always be for us currency, finding out what's moving. Cryptocurrency, find out what cryptocurrency, maybe you're a meme coin person, maybe you're a Bitcoin person, find out how you flow in cryptocurrency. Number 2, but currencies, make sure you always, gold is a transactionable currency. Whatever your thing is, make sure you're in currency. Number 2, make sure you're in real estate. Real estate, trying to buy, make sure if you don't have a house yet, buy a house, get a house, get property. If you're going to rich dad, poor dad it, lease a house, rent a house, and then buy property. Whatever you're going to do, but get your property in as much acreage as you can, get acreage. And especially if you can get into a place where you're able to have investment properties, get investment properties, start building your investment portfolio in properties. Number 3, that there must be communication. You must figure out how you communicate. Write a book. I'm coming out here in one of the things I'm launching in 2025 is how to get your book to the bestseller. Launch a book and write a book and help you get your concept, make it a bestseller. And it's going to be the bestseller secrets. I want you to jump into that. That's going to be absolutely dynamic. Bestseller secrets. How do you get your book to be a bestseller? It's a strategy. It's an idea to a strategy to literally, we're going to help you do that. That's going to be, but make sure you figure out how you communicate on stages. My communication is through media, television, platforms like this, Skool.com, those build communities, communicate around communication. For me, it's going to be Destiny Channel. Destiny Channel is the key component to ruling the world and dominating the world of media, to become a media mogul, to be someone that's going to be right there next to Netflix. I know people think it's crazy when I say that, but I want Destiny Channel, Netflix, Amazon. I want to be right there in the game. And then if I can get as much as I can of that shares that I want to have it. I want to own that. So Destiny Channel is not just an idea. It is a movement, a platform that I'm working. That's communication. And then number 4, transportation. Make sure that you're doing something, because knowing that transportation is never going to go away. Transportation is trying to be controlled. That means also farm community, anything that's moving stuff, transporting stuff, exporting, importing, flights, trains, planes, automobiles. These are the 4 things that you need to be focusing on. If you own a Turo, there's a Turo business. I have a friend, he has a Das Fleet. Das Fleet is amazing. Look up Das Fleet. I think it's dasfleet.com. Amazing company of transportation and making sure. I want to own flights, planes, a charter plane business, airplanes, and that's ultimately when we go from owning all of this. We've got to move people around, and that transportation is never going to go away. It will never go away. No matter how much you love your VR headset, you are going to have to get out and go somewhere. You can't stay embedded in Facebook. You've got to make sure you get into you got to make sure you do things right. So make sure get in this. These are the 4 things. Now, why am I saying that? Because I'm always working on something in those spaces. You need to be always working on those. In 2025, you're going to be set up. We are now in a position where we in America, and I think it's going to help around the world, that we have someone in our office as president that understands business. Real estate is going to explode because it's his business. If you're not focusing on jumping in and getting in and making sure that you're positioning yourself for real estate, you're going to miss what happens over the next 4 years. In the next 4 years, when we had President Trump, the previous 4 years, when we had him, the Lord spoke to, says, Tracy, gold's going to start flowing from the head to toe. The church needs to take advantage of being people who can financially put themselves in a position to capture the anointing and the mantle of someone who knows how to make money. Now we're in that position again. We know that every single time people think, well, he's broke, he doesn't have anything. He's never been in a position where he's always been able to come back from if he has lost something. People look at him and go, he lost billions of dollars, he doesn't have anything. But let me tell you something. This man is used to having and losing and then coming back, because business is his blood. It's what he does. I remember a story when he lost billions. He went into the bank and borrowed $3 billion. What bank is loaning you $3 billion on his name? He just lost everything. $3 billion, comes in, borrows $3 billion, turns around within 12 months. I believe the number's right. Within 12 months, he turns around, makes that $3 billion into $9 billion, goes back into the bank, pays off whatever the interest and the money, and he's completely builds everything else we know. Him coming into, his office in 2016, 2016, comes into that office with billions and billions of dollars. Listen, this is an anointing of wealth creation, and you and I must capture this. Not what I'm supposed to be talking about. This is prophetically coming, so let it pour out. I want you to know, get ready to prophetically capture the spirit of revelation that comes on a person when they come under the leadership. Our chief and leader of America is a wealth creator, and now you need to get into that. If you haven't noticed, from the day that it was announced that he'd become president, every market is taken off. Everything is exploding, and he's not even in office yet. When he gets in office, what's got to happen is everything is going to explode. Everything is just going to take off. And if you're not positioned for it, if you're not ready for it, if you're not in the position for it, you're going to miss it. And I know that people don't like me talking about Trump and this prophetic, but I need you to get this. Tell people who care, because some people don't care. But I want you to know this is important, that you realize something is about to explode on the scene, and you need to be positioned so that when that explosion happens, it takes off. In this, I'm going to talk to you about another book. Another book. In my book, The Experimentalist, I talk about platform maturity, that the key to growing in something is to embed yourself in a platform, and while that platform grows, grow with it. So why are you dealing with school.com? I'm going to embed myself in school.com. And right now, school.com has, let's say less than 100,000 or 200,000 people on it. Now, when that thing grows to 1 million people, my platform automatically grows with it because I'm embedded in it. Gary Vee did that with Twitter. He did it with YouTube. He embedded himself in an immature platform. And as that platform matured, he grew and exploded with that. And when we realize that all you have to do is find out what platforms are going to grow, what platforms are going to explode, what platforms are growing. I'm a pioneer of platforms. I like to pioneer new things, but I'm also someone that says, well, if that platform is going to grow, I'm going to embed myself in that platform and I'm going to grow with it. When you realize that there's growth coming in the next 4 years, embed yourself into something and let yourself grow with that platform. There's going to be a mature platform growing starting in 2025 that we're going to take off in business and take off in economic business. I'm making a pretty significant shift in my coaching business. I'm not ready to share it yet, but I'm making a pretty significant shift. And when I share it, it's going to be interesting because I'm literally setting myself up to be in business, and most likely only coaching that I'm going to do is going to be through this platform, school platform, or private coaching. If I'm not doing it online, if I'm not doing it in Destiny Channel, if I'm not doing it on school, then I'm not doing it at all. And I'm doing it probably as a ministry. I will continue to coach as a ministry, but not as a business. I think I just told that. I just told it there. I'm retiring from the coaching business, and I'm going to be coaching in ministry coacher. I don't know what that means, but anyway, that's what it's going to be, and part of the Turnaround King space. So I want you to understand that this is a great, healthy season to be positioning yourself, because maturity is going to take place in every platform. I'm going to just give you this quick, brief picture as we jump into this. I want you to see and understand that as you are looking in this next season, you're going to gravitate to knowledge. And I want you to know that all knowledge is not just good knowledge. I was praying for someone this week, and as I was praying for them, I realized what they need in this season is not just a more knowledge, but they need wisdom, because wisdom is how to apply that knowledge. It's the spirit of execution. Wisdom is the executor. Wisdom builds. So look what it says in Proverbs 9:1. It says, wisdom has built her house. She has hewn out her 7 pillars. Now, wisdom will have a strategy with everything that she wants to build. Wisdom is going to build the house. Now, why is it important that we're not just talking about, we're going to just, have wisdom? No, wisdom wants to build something. Don't just go around capturing knowledge. I find that it's interesting. You can have so much knowledge at your fingertips. I can go online and I can learn how to boil an egg. I can go online and learn how to scoop out, how to peel avocado. I can go online and learn everything. But am I truly executing everything I'm getting? And I find that people love information, but they're not loving wisdom. And wisdom needs us to learn how to build. And the reason I want you to be a builder in business is because building in business is going to be the only way that you turn things around. You're expecting things to change because you know it, but things change because you execute. Execution is going to be the key component. Now, why does a person not execute the way that they're supposed to execute? Is because this is the key thing. Wisdom has built her house. Wisdom knows where she's going. She has a clear vision, a clear picture of where she's going. She's built it in her heart and her mind, and then she goes busy to hewn out. First, she sees it and builds it in her heart and her mind. Wisdom builds mentally, emotionally, spiritually first. Build in the spirit first, knowing exactly what you want to build, knowing exactly who you are. When you realize that wisdom is looking for someone to be like her, which is build it already. Build it in your mind. When I sit down and I'm working on Destiny Channel and I'm working on building this, I'm not building something that is simply coming to me. I'm building something that I've built already in my mind. I've already built these things. I've already built the charter airplane business. I've already built in my mind. I've already built these things. I talk to people. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm working on this. I'm doing this. And I talk in such a way that they feel like I've already done it, but I'm in my mind, I've done it. Wisdom builds in her mind first, in his mind first. So build in your mind first. Get a clear picture, crystal clear picture of where you want to go, what you want to do, how you're going to do it, what it's going to look like. And then when you do that, you built in your place of wisdom. And then you go back and you hewn out the processes and you hewn out the steps of it. So when you look at what wisdom is building, wisdom first is building her house. She realizes I'm going to build a house. But before I build the house, in the natural practical application, she has hewn out her 7 pillars. So she goes and she sets up the foundation, the structure of the house. She sets up the strength of the house. She sets up the stability of the house. This is where most people are going wrong when they want to start a business. Or they really don't want to start a business. They say, Tracy, how can I write a book? I'm like, well, let's start a business. Let's start a business around your book. Let's start a business around your idea. Let's go at what are we going to do? We're going to envision it. We're going to start off with wisdom and let wisdom build out in your mind, knowledge that you know the steps to take. Can I tell you what wisdom is? Knowledge, and you know now the steps to take to get to it. That's execution. You know how to execute what you know, not just you have the idea of it. When you sit down with a vision and you sit down with an idea and you let that thing roll around in your mind, you sit in your dream chair and you let it roll around in your mind, it literally takes off in your mind and it builds such a picture. I was in a coaching session maybe a month ago with a powerful woman. And I said, okay, listen to what I want you to do. I want you just to dream. I want you just to lay it out. Just sit down, just tell me, and then just lay it out. And she laid out this incredible detailed picture. It took about 30 minutes. I like to dream. I like to meditate. And meditation to me takes time. Meditation is not something you do quickly. This hewing out, this envisioning, building with your mind takes time. It's literally, if I really had the time, if I really spend time with someone, we're going to do it pretty much minute by minute. We're going to say the minute in my mind is a minute in my real life. I'm going to sit in the chair and I'm going to dream it out. This is how I learned to fly. Part of my flying instructor said, you have to do chair time. You have to make sure you sit in the chair, close your eyes, and you go through your taking off. You go through your flight. You go through everything you're doing. You go through your procedures. I realized that's what I've always done. I've always done that with people in business. I make them sit in a chair and we go and we do chair time. I do meditation time. Okay, you're going to work. Tell me what you're doing. Tell me how you're driving. Tell me what you're driving. Tell me what you're doing. You wake up in the morning, you're a billionaire. Tell me how you're brushing your teeth. Tell me what kind of toothpaste you're using. Tell me, right? And I just work this out. When I work this out with this woman, and this businesswoman, she worked in, she just literally laid it out so clear, so concise. I could see wisdom had built the house. And then it turns around within the next 24, I'm going to say 24 days, but it's been less. The next 24 days, everything she declared, it was a magnet. It was the law of attraction that started to draw all the opportunities and the people to her. And now she's playing the big game that she was dreaming about. And it's going to be the key that wisdom. Now watch, I'm not just talking about the secret. I'm talking about the scripture, the word of God. It's here. Wisdom has built her house. She has hewn out her 7 pillars. You've got to go to that place. Now you know what the steps are, what the next steps are. This is what I want you to understand about building. Is you're going to have to go into this place first, get an overview of this. Look, now I'm going to give you an overview of a business launch system because I want to help you launch in your heart and your mind. You have to first launch. You have to think through, what are my products? What's my process? What's my people? In the middle of that, what's my offer? And then breaking down all of these hewn things. This is a system. This is 6. If I were to take the whole thing, it'd be 7. But then here, wisdom hewn out 6 things based upon this process. So when I'm working with people and we're breaking out into new things, what we do is we sit down and we go through this part. This is what's wheeling in our head. What's the offer? What's the product? What's the process? Who are the people? And we're wheeling this in our heads. We have the people, the process, and the product. You've heard it so many different ways, but it all comes around. What's my value proposition? What's my offer? If you're talking in the world of digital strategies and digital marketing, it's always offer. When you're talking in the world of brick and mortar, it's your value proposition. What's my value proposition? What am I offering the world? What is the market coming to me? Now, when you start to do this, you're dreaming this stuff out. Why? Because wisdom is building a house and you're starting to think through this. So when I realized every time I'm going into a company, I'm going to help someone. When we come into your company in 2025 as the Turnaround Kings, we're coming in and guess what we're going to do? We're going to get into this wisdom place. We're going to talk about your product. We're going to talk about your offer. We're going to talk about your process. We're going to talk about your people. We're going to talk about how that works and how you're working that. And then we're going to build out hewn places, your offer, your systems, your attraction, your simulation, your team. And then how is that money coming to you? Money, money, money. That's why we're in business. We got to be able to change lives. But if we change lives and we're not making money, then you're not going to be happy with your business. So when extremely important and extremely powerful when you see yourself like wisdom working, when you work with wisdom. Look what this next scripture says. It says, through wisdom, a house is built. Again, another proverb. Wisdom is the key component of building. Why? Let me explain it to you again. The reason wisdom is important is because wisdom doesn't just want to talk about knowledge. Wisdom wants to be about action. Be about that action. If you say you're a wise person and you don't take action, you don't execute the ideas, it's not enough to say, well, I have ideas. And you know you're in danger when you do this. Well, I could do this, and 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 I could do this. You're in a very dangerous place because you collected so much information that you're too busy not knowing what to do. And what that does, it activates in your mind the emotional brain. The emotional brain goes into tilt and wants to eat cake when you don't know what to do, when you have too many things, too many subjects in your mind. The King Agrippa said to Paul, he says, Paul, much studies made you crazy. You've lost your mind. You don't know what you're talking about, what you're doing. It's because when you come to this conclusion, when you learn so much, you can actually lose the grip of reality. Instead of really realizing when I learn what I need to learn, I need to learn the next steps. I need to learn my next action. I need to have a big picture where I'm going, but I need to know what to do next. I need to stop having so many big pictures in my mind, because the more collection of information, the less action you actually take. So make sure you're taking that information, you're digesting the information, you're able to make it wisdom so that you can take action towards it. The people that you know in your life, they have so much information. They collect so much information, but they don't know how to step into the next level, is they have collected so much information. You've got to tell them to stop collecting information, stop watching YouTube, stop reading all those things, and now start figuring out, how are we going to go to our next step, our next level? What are we going to do? What's the next step? That's why I love coaching, because coaching is not about just the big picture. Coaching is about big picture to next step, big picture, the next step. So this is what we come to. Wisdom has a house to build. She builds this house, and by understanding, she establishes. What's understanding? What's my next step? What's my next step? That's the biggest question you should ask yourself in this season. I want to do all these things. Okay, great. What's the next step? I want to have my hands in cryptocurrency, or whatever currency is coming, whatever's currency working. I want to make sure that I'm in real estate. I want to make sure that I'm building communication platform. I want to make sure that I am establishing travel. And now, what's my next step? I can be in all of those things, and each one of these things, that's what I'm doing. I have a next step in each one of them. Each one of them, I have an understanding, and I'm stepping into that understanding. Now, it may look at some people may look and go, well, it's a slow grow. Yeah, but I'm not working on one thing. I'm working on 4 things, and I'm slow cooking. Come on, somebody. If you know anything about brisket, you're slow cooking that puppy, and it's going to be nice and juicy by the end of the day. Now, when you realize that this is super important, that you have to understand. Why understand? Because if you don't understand, you don't establish. If you don't understand, you don't found it. If you don't understand, you don't move forward. If you don't understand, you don't get to work. You've got to know what the next step is. What's my next step? Oh, come on, somebody. I need you to capture this with me. What's my next step? And when you realize there is a next step, that's understanding. I know what my next step is. I understand. That's when you get the aha moment. But when you are collecting so much information, there's so much information. There's so many platforms. There's so many things. Are you on Telegram? Are you on it? Are you on it? No, I'm not on all those things. I'm on the things that I know that benefit my 4. That benefit my 4. And if it doesn't benefit my 4, then I have to say no to it. I have to say yes to what only benefits my 4, because I'm working on establishing something big. I'm not working on just trying to have my next hit wonder and go viral on one of these platforms. I'm looking to literally establish my business, because this is what's going to make me viral. When I'm making $1 million here, $1 million here, Lord willing, $1 billion in Destiny, and $1 billion in my travel company, when I'm making billions of dollars and millions of dollars in these other platforms, and maybe billions of dollars in crypto and billions of dollars in all of them, that'd be beautiful. But when I'm making that kind of money, that's going to be my platform. That's going to be my voice. That's going to be my revelation into the world of my viral activity. People, I know people who have viral videos. I should be on the large view. Sorry. I know people that have viral videos, but they have one-hit viral videos, and they don't know how to build on those viral videos. But if you build something that's going to be viral for generations, they'll keep talking about you, and you'll never go away. Donald Trump is never going away. I mean, as much as you hate him, he's never going away. If he got martyred, he would never go away. He's never going away. Why? Because he built something. He built something, and he built this city probably on rock and roll. I don't know, that song came in my head, but I need you need to understand that this is important, that you build something. Everybody's so busy trying to put on peacock feathers. Stop it. Stop trying to peacock out. Build something. Build something that lasts for generations. Build something that your children can be proud of. Build something that establishes legacy. Build something. Get in the building zone and build. I got all passionate. How much time I have, Steven? I'm almost out of here. All right, so let me show you something. Let me just break this down real quick. You have to know what's next. If all you have is a bunch of, I could do this, I could do that, a bunch of ideas, then you're really not taking action, because action needs you to stop having ideas and start having understanding. Step into that next level. So this is what I want to leave you with this week. You're going to have to think about this. Think about this process. I'm going to take my picture off for just 1 second. Think about this process. Oh, went the wrong way. I want you to think about this process, your product, your process, your people, and in the middle of that, your offer. I want you to think about that because it's always going to be, again, if you are a brick and mortar, your value proposition, what do you what do you do that matters to the market? What do you do that people can't live without? What do you do that people can't live without? They need what you do. It's so highly important that what you do, what are you offering to them? This is going to transform their life. This is going to transform their world. This is what I offer. This is the value I offer. This is what I propose. This is the transformation that's going to take place in their lives. And that's going to be important that you understand that. The more you understand what you offer and that you have to offer it more, you have to offer, a lot of you, and myself included, we just aren't offering our services enough. We're just not offering our services enough to enough people. We don't put it in front of enough people. That's why we're going to bring Stephen here. And Stephen's always here. And he's always here I'm looking for questions all the time. I look for questions all the time to get an opportunity for you to learn from Stephen that there is a way to put yourself in front of people that you're setting that offer in front of them and making it attractive, and your brand is being established. And so it's important. What are you offering? Then the next thought that I want to help you think about is, in this, what I'm offering, you gotta get into this place of the product. What is your product associated to your offer? What is the process in associating this offer? And what people are you presenting this offer in front of? And then people's going to keep coming around, because then we're talking about what team is helping you present this. Who do you have on your team? What team are you building? What team do you have in place that you're ignoring? You don't even think that they're a part of your team. They're just people that you do business with. You got to say that those are all team members. And when you realize your product, your process, and your people surrounding your offer, making that offer, pitching that offer, putting that offer in front of people, the only way that that someone else is more successful than me is because they're offering what they do to more people than I do. And then they work the process out through offering that in front of more people. That process is not perfect when you offer it in front of the first person, and then you offer it in front of 10 people. Then I start offering it in front of 100 people and 1,000 people. That process is going to shift. I've got to change that process. And then my product is getting in front of people. Now I need to know. I start to hear feedback because I'm dealing with people. They say, well, this product could have some more of this or some less of that or some whatever it is. So my product is growing along the way. I don't really know what my process and my product is and how it's really going to fulfill that offer until I put it in front of more people, until I hear more people say, it's not right. I don't like it. It's working, or I love it. It's whatever. And then I can refine it. Then I can define it and refine it. And I can really make it healthy, and I can put it in front of more people. What are we going to do when we come in as those that are turnaround kings? We're first going to sit down and we're going to look at your space. We're going to look at your world, and we're going to say, what's your offer look like? Okay. And then what's the product associated to the offer? And what's the process associated to the offer? And what's the people? Who are we doing this for? And how are we getting in front of the people? I mean, there's so many questions. You sit down with this image. If you take a screenshot with it, or go back to the school this week and take a screenshot of it, and you literally look at this image and you ask yourself a question. There's 3 or 4 questions I can ask on this image alone. And I hope you're paying attention. I hope you're sending this to people, because this is going to help transform someone's life. This is what we do in business. So we sit down, we're going to spend some. What's your offer? How are you putting this offer in front of people? What's the process of your marketing? What's the process? What's the products, your platforms you're using the marketing? Then we go from marketing. Okay, let's identify your brand. How do people relate to your brand? What's the process of putting your brand in front of more people? We can go through around this little circle and go through around this wheel over and over and over, because it's going to help us build out your offer, your systems, your attraction, and from your attraction, your assimilation, and your team to make you money. When you realize there's a constant motion of this machine wants to work in your life and your business. And when you realize that this machine is going to work in your life and your business, you will never be the same. This is all I'm giving you this week. Hopefully you come back next week. We'll have some kind of other insights and wisdom for you. But I need you to understand that it's extremely important that you learn to put your offer in front of more people, because if you're not getting people taking up your offers, because you're not actually doing that. Now, Stephen, you need to unmute yourself. There you go, sir. All right. Any thoughts?
Yeah, a whole lot of thoughts. Oh, we're over time. Really quick. I love this concept because it aligns with something that I've been kind of digesting recently. There's a great picture in Genesis of the river that was going through the garden, and it broke off into 4 fingers. And I think that's a great concept, a great visual of what you just said, is having a vision, but then having the applicable things to establish that vision, establish that that big idea. So that river is the big idea, but these 4 things to distribute that main river is your branding, your marketing, your sales, and your systems. Without those 4 different rivers, you're not going to be able to water the garden and reach the whole earth. That one river is completely pointless until you branch off into these 4 little fingers, and the branding feeds into the marketing goes into the sales, and the sales into the systems. That's why I think you and I work so well, because I feel like I'm 2 rivers and you're 2 rivers. We have branding and marketing, one thing that I specialize in, the sales and the systems that you specialize in. And it goes so hand in hand of what you just said on having a vision, but also having the practical things to put in place, because it's completely useless to have a big idea if you don't know what to do next. You don't have the branding, you don't have the marketing, you don't have the sales, and you don't have the systems.
That's right. So make sure you realize those 4 rivers. If you don't have those 4 rivers flowing, then it literally 2 of those rivers are damming up the rest of your business. There's the water flow is literally going to be hindered, and you want the rest of it to get out. You want to literally allow it to go. And so here we are. We're ready to go. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate. Go into school. I'm going to put that up again for you. Go into school. Make sure you get in there and you are asking questions. I mean, this is we're not going to charge you for those questions. This is free coaching. This is free opportunities for you to go into school /influencers school.com with a K /influencers. Get in there. It's free right now. It's not going to be free forever. And make sure that you're asking questions so that we can help you in your business. I'm going to retire from paid business. I'm going to be stepping into the ministry of coaching business. I'm going to still do my real estate, still do all my business, but I want to help people get to their next level. And I feel like I've got to do it from a different place, from a different space. And so we are going to help you move forward. Amen. Exciting. All right. Well, if there's nothing else, Stephen, I'm excited about this next season. I'm going to get some Christmas shopping done next week. I'm not putting it off a week. I got multiple things I've got to get going. And we definitely appreciate you and excited about what's going on. Nothing else? You got to sign off for us?
That's it. I'm excited too. I'm looking forward to the questions popping up in school so that we could dive in and help people.
Let's get those questions in school. And then again, if you know someone that's challenged in their business and they are like just hanging on, we're going to start a TV show. We're going to start a TV show helping people get them out of their challenges, their problems. I mean, that guy's doing it in the kitchen to help restaurants. We're going to come in and we're going to do all kinds of stuff to help people. And so even, however we can do it, we'll make it work. It's going to be fun and it's going to be exciting. We're going to help and bless people because this is the season to get ready for what's coming down. Stephen, thank you, man. Talk to you soon.
Thank you. All right.
Everybody, make sure that you are jumping in. And again, don't just let us keep announcing that, but get in there and check that out. I'm going to play a Destiny Reel because I'm going to keep putting this in front of you. If you are a believer, pray for Destiny Channel. We're getting ready for our NRB launch in February, buying all of the exhibit information and all that stuff. And man, it's a lot of work this week for me. But I'm really looking for some sponsors that will help us in sponsoring the NRB. We have travel to take care of. We have equipment to get, in space to rent at the NRB. We have expenses. And so if there's someone that wants to be a part of helping us do that, then make sure that you check out Destiny Builders and the Destiny Channel. I'm going to play this for you. And I want to see you next week. Make sure you invite other people, and so we can continue to build. This is Tracy Armstrong. Stephen was there. Turnaround Kings. We'll see you next time.
Life is too important to leave it up to chance. You and I are meant to live by design. You are a guided person with a divine purpose. You deserve to have input that matches your destiny. Imagine engaging with a decentralized media platform whose very purpose is to empower, educate, and entertain you as you live the most powerful and purposeful life designed by God. You're walking with destiny, and we're here to help you on the road that God has ordered for you. Imagine a platform that hosts music, ministry, movies, and marketplace content, all merging faith and entertainment. Join the movement of musicianaries and media missionaries, those who feel the restraint of the current media agenda and know that truth needs to be fought for and revealed to the world. Your destiny is calling, and the time is now. Let's partner together to establish God's kingdom through media. Destiny Channel, where faith meets entertainment.
I'm coming in hot. Coming in hot. Hey, why not? Yeah, coming in hot.